up, Buddy Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Kagurabachi chapter 72. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because of course this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and we ain't sponsored by Viz. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable Will Bubba Kitty, who's somewhere around here, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon, where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we can have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side and have the audio to boot, which is not only great for busting a botch localization or two, but it's great for when we cover anime original content like, say, Dragon Ball Daima, which we cover in both the sub and the dub. And the more views and subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you are a $10 patron, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there's a stacked winter anime season in full swing and more on the way. So please check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So last chapter of Kagurabachi, we were getting into Iwari's full flashback. So we saw how she, reunited with Samura the first time, and how Mama died, especially, and it's really, really sad. It really is, especially after Iwari and Samura were really starting to bond. And it was, of course, for Mama's sake. And it's sad. She died from like a terminal illness. We don't know specifically what illness, but that's what she died from. But now here's where things get really, really twisted, because we have the leader of the Hishaku here. So let's get into 72, see what's in store for us today. When Iwari was a child, Yura, the leader of the Hishaku, approached them. Give me a break. My ex-wife's wake just finished. I'm so sorry, but I simply had to thank the great hero. And this chapter is titled Future. Let's see. The Sede War started when they invaded. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, Hokuzono. I'm liking the direction this art is going in. I'm starting to get convinced that Hokuzono is watching my content, guys. I am getting what I want. It's about time. The citizens of that small country were bloodthirsty savages by nature. Their bodies were resistant to the Danseki. Their invasion advanced steadily. As everyone knows, our heroes and their enchanted blades turned the tide. The heroes succeeded in eradicating the citizens of that nefarious small country. Thanks to our heroes, every last one of them was wiped out. Our country was protected. I'm finally getting what I want. I know. It's like with Monoichi. It is baby steps with this manga. In terms of the art, it is baby steps with this manga. Is it like fully what I want? It's like 75% of what I want so far. I need more, I want, more fluidity. I want more, I would love for, this top panel here to have more, black, where it's, fully, across the page. It needs a little bit more. Because it says they were bloodthirsty savages. I need to feel more of the savagery. I'm, as I said, it's 70-75% there. But at least it's there, compared to before, where I would say it was just more of a tell more than a show. So I'm very, very pleased. But anyways, The sins you people committed and the disaster that will befall. I don't think that's what you came here to say. Yes, I know the truth. The events that led up to the eradication, the story the public doesn't know. When the Shinoichi emerged, it turned the tables on the enemy. We waged a powerful counteroffensive, rapidly driving them back. The heroes encroached into the enemy's territory. At this point, the end of the war was in sight. The enemy flew a white flag. Bloodthirsty savages. We were taught to call them that from our textbooks. But in reality, human beings are individuals. Physiologically, that small nation's inhabitants had a unique genetic resistance to the Danseki, but they were still human. The royal family who led the invasion were deposed. There we go. They chose to surrender. In order to prevent further casualties, they signed a treaty, and for a time, peace was established. Okay. No, ooh, they must be annihilated. Ooh. Now this here. This is page 5. Now this. This is what I want. Like, I feel that intensity. I am down with this, Hokusono. I'm down. Okay. Like, I have to point this out. You see what just a couple of extra lines and a little bit of shading does? It makes a huge difference. It really does. It adds that intensity. It adds like that ferociousness sounds like the correct wording there. But yeah, it really does give that. But man, I really wish there was more shading for just to give more dimension. There we go. Because right now, the arm is great. I'm happy with this arm. But the face... God, I wish there was just a little bit more shading under the eye, specifically. And on the cheek. If there was just a little bit more shading on the right side specifically, like, what it would do is it would give you that, like, that sunken in look in the face. It would make it even more, like, scary and more fierce. And it would just really take it. It would really take you there, you know? But yeah, overall though, like, I really do like this page, or this panel, but I think the problem is it's too light. It needs to be darker. With shading and all that, it just needs to be a little bit darker to really give us that scariness. Yeah, that's what it is. I think Hokusono made it lighter so we get like that pop in the eye with the eye color, but it doesn't work. It needs to be darker. And yeah, with the blood too, I understand that as well. But nah, for this needs to be way darker. Not black, obviously, but it needs to be a little bit grayer to just with shading to really give us the pop. One of the heroes who had trod over countless corpses during the war went berserk. The strongest of the enchanted blades responded. The true realm of an enchanted blade conforms to its master. See, like what we have here on page 6, you see the shading here on the hilt. And you see how it gives it dimension? Like, this is the kind of shading I'm talking about for page 5 that it needed. It just needs a little bit more shading to give it more dimension. But I wish that blood splatter was going across the whole panel for this top part. Well, other than that. Malediction. Oh, now this, though! Now this on page... Or, I'm sorry, that was... wait. Okay, so this is still page 6. Okay, so here's why I really wish we were getting... God damn it. A second. I lost my spot. So here's why I really wish we were getting more with the blood splatter. Because, like, I understand what Hokuzono's doing for, what Hokuzono's going for. It's like a rain effect of blood. And it's actually really nice. But I really wish there was just more of it. I wish there was more. It just needs more blood. It does. Especially given the actual scene that the blood is falling on. I'm not saying a heavy downpour, no, even though a heavy downpour would be sick. But I'd like more blood. More of it. But God, this is beautiful. Hokuzono, I will give you credit where credit is due. This landscape looks so much, this looks way better than the landscapes we've seen in this manga previously. And the skeletons, they look gorgeous. Oh my God, these skeletons look beautiful. The abilities that the Swordmaster evoked were a force of pure obliteration, and the immensity of that power, the Shinoichi and the Swordmaster consumed each other. All reason vanished, and the calamity that ensued was beyond virtue or evil. The calamity that beset that small nation laid waste to roughly 200,000 lives. I wish this was darker. This could be the scan from like Manga Plus and Viz, but if it is not, then yeah, this should be way darker. This needs more shading. It was only afterward that the 5 other enchanted blade bearers were able to stop him. The Swordmaster remains locked away to this day. That's the real story of the cleansing of that country. The truth is, the Swordmaster is the worst murderer who ever lived. God, this makes me think of the... This really makes me think of the elusive samurai, how he went down in history. But this country was still in chaos, reeling from the invasion. To reestablish stability and avoid further confusion, they hid the truth and enshrined the Swordmaster as a hero who defeated an evil enemy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but there's the samurai in the elusive samurai who was this mofo. He is a complete beast. Like he's like extremely demonic. Like he was like tearing like eyeballs and shit at the enemy with like a smile on his face. Like he is really, really creepy. And he did die, and he's like, dude, I'm gonna die anyway. Like I want to be remembered as a hero. I'd rather be remembered as a hero than anything else. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out my own way. It was just great. I love it. Dude, go read the Elusive Samurai. You will thank me for it. I can't wait to cover it after this. How much does he know? How can we blame them? It was for the good of the future. Yes, the future. As for the reason for my visit, I've come to deliver a prophecy. Prophecy? So long as the Swordmaster lives, that calamity known as the Malediction will occur again in the near future in this country. This background is sick. I know we saw it earlier, but like the shade of this background, this gray, that's what it should be a little bit darker, but yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about. You see how much better and kind of sinister it looks? Unless Hokuzono is trying to go for like an ironic metaphor, where it's peace through darkness kind of thing. But even with that, I still think it should have been just a little bit darker. Well, at least in my opinion. What? Seichi Samurai, you have a job to do. For the future. Ooh, you're awake. Who was that? Calamity, a job to do. Do you have to go somewhere, Dad? You heard that? I'm not going anywhere. Oh. Back at Kaminabi headquarters. Long time no see, Samurai. It's not like you to reach out. Yo, you've aged, hobbling like an old geezer. Aren't you cheeky? I'm still pretty spry for an old man. Care to spar? No, I'll pass. What's the matter? Weren't you gonna knock me silly? I remember when he was training Shibata and Azami to fight. Oh, Jesus. This man knew the truth about the Swordmaster. That's so. Only the core members of the Kaminabi and the nation's highest echelon know that. Perhaps he was involved back then. His voice and scent were familiar. And this man who knew the truth said that the malediction would beset this country next. Prophecy, huh? Well, it's like the dream of the monk of Temerkuin, a sort of divination with no clear evidence, a possible disaster, in other words. So it's possible? Well, to prevent such a thing, the Swordmaster has been imprisoned deep underground, and the Shinoichi has been sealed and isolated in a separate place, so that the two could never come into contact. But so long as the Swordmaster and the Shinoichi remain in this world, that possibility exists. To extinguish it completely, we would have to execute the Swordmaster, but as you know, that's not possible. The external contracts. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be interesting. These life and death spells are immensely sophisticated. It would have been extremely cumbersome to enact multiple spells at once. For that reason, Rokuhiro used the Shinoichi as its core and assigned it to the Swordmaster, his most trusted ally. Like a master-slave configuration, he linked them together to establish the contracts. Because of this configuration, if the Swordmaster at the nucleus dies, the bodies of the other linked sword bearers will deteriorate, and within days they too will perish. So, if the Shinoichi is destroyed, and that Swordmaster dies, all of them are going to die, essentially. Like shogi pieces that fall when the king falls, the enchanted blade bearers accepted that risk as they entered the war. How could they know their comrade would become their enemy? So if we execute the Swordmaster, you and the other contracted owners of the enchanted blades will die. But what? Hold on a second. But what about Enten in all this? That's the real question. What about Enten? Because Enten is separate, would Chihiro be affected by it? I don't think he will. I don't think so, because I think Enten is a separate sword. So I don't think Enten will be affected by it. But based on what Samura is saying here, all of them are going to die. The rest of the sword bearers, they are going to die no matter what. There's no way to get around it. But if we don't do something, calm down. This isn't like you. Yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. You're caring for your daughter now. So that's why you're concerned for the future. Yes, the possibility exists, but it's extremely slim. Very few people know that the Swordmaster and the Shinoichi are under the tightest security imaginable. As long as the Swordmaster and the Shinoichi are sealed and isolated, there's no concern. But we don't need to sacrifice your lives for such a slim possibility. What the Swordmaster did is a horrible crime we must somehow atone for. But to the very end, the rest of you fought to save the citizens, not to kill the enemy. You are heroes. You've done enough. Let us handle the rest. You and your daughter have futures to live for. Ooh, well, that explains a lot why Iwari has all this power. She has her eyes closed, but she could somehow sense the target. How? Well, she's constantly imitating me. I guess she's getting the knack of it. The knack, huh? Actually, she seems more afraid when she opens her eyes. Closing her eyes eliminates extraneous thoughts. She could quietly concentrate and focus on wielding the sword. Incredible! Well, she is the daughter of the great hero, Seiichi Samura. Well, that it definitely explains a lot. It totally does. Dad, did you see that? Yes, well done, right? I'm going to be the best fighter ever, and I'll protect you, Dad. You can live for the future. Is that so? Well, I can't wait. Time flowed calmly between father and daughter. This is very interesting. Now we're getting somewhere with this. This definitely explains a lot. It totally does. It explains. We're gonna get to the part where he seals Samura seals Iwari probably next week. But yeah, they're all going to die. They will die. I swear to God, Hakuzono, if you pull a stunt and have all the sword bearers somehow survive, I'm going to call bullshit. I'm going to call shenanigans, and I will probably, put a tinfoil hat on and say that there's editorial interference. Don't do that. Just, if if the Shinoichi dies, the rest of them are dying with you, or dying with them. And based on what we're seeing here, I'm going to go back to that real quick with the slave contract. It seems like, yeah, it's only 6. So Chihiro is not part of this. As far as we know, Chihiro is not part of this because Enten is a separate sword. So he's fine. He's not affected by this contract. But the rest of them, like, but here's the other thing. And this is, again, why I'm happy about this. As fucked up as it is remember what Chihiro said. He said that he is going to save everybody. Well, guess what? This here is proof that he's not going to save everybody. Everyone, all the sword bearers, whether he likes it or not, and we already saw that one of them died, all of them are going to die, whether he likes it or not. I swear to God, if he destroys that contract, I'm going to hate life. Please do not destroy that. Please. Please don't have like an asshole where Chihiro destroys the contract and the sword bearers live. Don't do that shit. No, I understand I understand what Samura is doing. I do. I understand why he's saying that all the sword, like, everything makes sense why Samura is saying all the sword bearers are going to die. It makes so much sense now. Because at first it was like, what the hell? But now it totally makes sense. It totally does. And it makes even more sense for this fucker to die. Everything makes sense. And now it's like Samura's not, I feel so bad because Samura's not really the bad guy in all this. He's not. With all that said, though, I've got to wonder what is going to happen because Iwari knows all this. What is she going to say to Chihiro? Because her memories are fully unlocked. So she knows all this. So she's going to have to tell Chihiro what is going on, why Samura is doing what he's doing. Chihiro's probably going to be, that's another thing though. That's another thing. Does Chihiro know about these eternal contracts? Does he know about his father using the Shinoichi as its core to assign the sword to each master? Because if the Shinoichi is destroyed and all that the rest of them are basically going to die. Because if he does know that, then he knows that once the Shinoichi is, the owner of the Shinoichi is destroyed, then the rest of them are going to die regardless. And if he does know what the owner of the Shinoichi did, which he probably does, then he's got to know that this is the right, he's got to know that this is the right thing to do at this point. The owner of the Shinoichi should not even be alive. He's lucky to be alive. He should have been executed when all was said and done. It was a mistake to keep him alive. Oh God. I know we're going to have to see where I know there's more to this. There's got to be more to this in terms of like the berserkerness and all that. We're going to have to get his side of the story. But right now it's like, dude, he might as well have been killed. He's killing 200,000 people. It's just like, that is wild. Like, he went berserk and did that. He's sealed for a reason. swear to God, I'm going to say this. If we get a sympathetic, I really hope that this doesn't go a sympathetic villain route. I really, really do. Do I want to see a gray area for him? Like, I'd like to know what caused him to snap. I do. I really would like to know what caused him to snap. With Yura is very interesting. I do like the idea of the Kaminabi, Kaminabi being corrupt wouldn't surprise me. The Hishaku being like Hishaku being pieces of shit. They are pieces of shit. Let's be real. But the final, if Endgame is the Shinoichi itself, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the Endgame being the Shinoichi. I think that would be a very interesting twist. I'd like to see that. The Endgame being the Shinoichi itself. That would be a fascinating twist if that was the Endgame, was the Shinoichi itself. I could see that. I could see the Endgame being the actual Shinoichi. I gotta wonder if that's what it is. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Endgame here is the actual Shinoichi itself? Or do you think that there's someone at that it's the Kaminabi? I really, especially based on what we saw in like the previous arc or a couple of arcs ago, and how powerful the Shinoichi is, I would not be surprised if the Shinoichi itself is Endgame. I'd be fine with it being Endgame, frankly. That I think that would be the best twist. I just do not want to have like no sympathetic villain shit. I want to have like I want to have it like torment mofos. I want to see it. Like, because we have some really good villains right now. Like, we have like the shit in Bungo Stray Dogs. We have the shit in Seraph of the End. And we have the shit in like Jujika no Rokuden. And also in Ron Kamonohashi Deranged Detective. We have some good villains right now. So if Kagurabachi can produce a really good villain with the Shinoichi, I would be so down for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Kagurabachi content. A few ways you could do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. Purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.